To another episode of Design with Pam. Today we're going to be designing this task management board where you get to see tasks that are in progress and you get to see their priority, high, medium, low, and all of that. To do tasks that are pending, in progress, completed, and all of that. Simply a task management board for a company that offers different services like social media management, branding, and all of that. So let's get right into it. So let's begin. This is what we're designing now. So the first thing we're going to do is to go to this toolbar and select frame. Then we're going to choose desktop. Right, so once we choose this desktop here, let me move this one here and just place this one beside it. I'm going to also remove it from this frame so that I can have enough space and see it. We can have enough space and see what we're designing. All right, so the first thing first is to create this section here, then create this other section, then start creating the middle section. So I'm going to go to the frame again and choose frame. Then I'm going to draw a frame here. So the size I'm going to use here, I'm just leaving the width at a 272. Okay, then I am going to, the height would be the same height with the main frame. All right, so for the main frame, I'm going to change the color. I'm going to come here, go to this fill here, and then take the color picker and pick the color that I already have here. So this is the color F1, F4, FB. So it's close to white, but it's not white. It also helps us for all the elements we have on the dashboards to pop up, especially if we're using white or if you want to design on white elements. So that's why I chose that color. All right, so this is the frame that we created, right? So I'm going to give it a fill color. I'm going to click on this plus sign, and automatically the fill color comes with white, and this is white that I want to use. So I'm going to go ahead and create this other section, this section here. So I'm going to choose the frame again, and I'm going to go ahead and create and drag it like this while holding on to my mouse. So for the height, I'm going to give it a 11, for the width rather 1169. Then for the height, I'm going to give it a 104. 104 is okay. So I'm going to try to align it to the top, and I'm going to add a fill color. All right, we're getting there. So I'm going to create this title section, which we have here, this tax management board. All right, so I'm going to click on T on my keyboard, and I'm going to type tax management board. Right, so I'm using this font here and I'm using it at a semi-bold, and I'm using a 24 font 24, but the letter spacing, I increase the letter spacing to be 3%. So for the color, I'm not using pure black. This is the color I'm going to be using. So I am going to deattach the style because I already saved the style on my file, so you can copy out the color code. Right, so everything that we have going on here from this section here, this the name, email, logo, the board, the menu here, we did that in our previous lesson. I did that in our previous lesson where I showed how to do all of this design. And same thing with this menu items we have here, the profile section, this thingy that shows whether you want to turn to a dark mode or leave it at light mode, and your notification bell. I created all of this in this when I took this lesson, so you can find the video if you don't know how to navigate the section. So I'm going to just copy whatever I have here. I'm going to click on it, Ctrl C, that's Command C, and I'm going to click on the other frame, and I'm going to Ctrl V so that I can stay exactly where it was here. I'm going to do same for these other items here. All right, and I'm going to also copy this one and paste it there. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is to create this search bar here. So I'm going to type an arrow on my keyboard, and I'm going to draw a rectangle. So for the width, I want it to be a 292, and for the height, I want it to be a 44. So I'm going to type a text, let's say search. I'm going to leave it at 16, and I'm also going to leave it at a regular, right? So for most of my title, for title sections here, I try to use this font just. Why for some other smaller text, I want to use Sophia Sans. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and right click on my mouse and go to plugin and find hero icon. If you don't have it saved on your icon list, you can just go to manage plugins and then type hero icons. So I am going to find the search icon here. I'm going to bring it here. I'm going to select the both of them. I'm going to create an auto layout. Apologies. Right, I've created the auto layout. I'm going to align it to the center here. However, this card seems to a bit bigger than the search text itself. So I'm going to come to this constraint proportion and I'm going to click it, and then I want to reduce the size of the search bar. I want to take it to a 14. I think this is good. But however, this search icon usually comes with a frame, but I just want to use only the vector, so I'm going to remove it from here. From this layers panel, I took out the vector from this frame, which is tied to search outline. I just drag it out to the top. So that means because it's in a frame like this, that means they're all going to line up accordingly and according to the spacing, which is 6 that was there. But I'm going to go to the search outline, the frame that the icon came with, and I'm going to delete it. Right, so the next thing I want to do is the spacing between these two. I think 6 is okay. All right, so I'm going to try to give this rectangle a corner radius. So this, I'm going to select the both of them plus the rectangle. I am going to create a frame. All right, so it appears that this frame is outside the desktop we're working on. Let's name our desktop. Our desktop should be tax management. Okay, so what we're going to do right now is to find this frame and then chuck it back into tax management frame, and I'm going to click on these two items here, and I am going to align it. I'm going to create a vertical alignment. For the spacing for this search item from the left hand side, I think is okay. Let's move it a bit to a 48. Let's give it a 48. Right, this is fine. I'm going to change the fill color for that rectangle to be a white. I think we're good. So I will advise you when designing, don't forget to put on your layout grids. So let's go put on our layout grid here. So I already have this one here, somewhat here. Okay, so I'm going to be working with this one so that I can make sure that everything is aligned properly. I want it to start from here. I want to give a spacing between this frame, this white frame we have here, and the next item. So the spacing between here is okay. All right, so let's see what spacing we have on top. I think 34. Let's give it a 32. So once you select the first item, hold on to shift and select the second item, then you can make the adjustment from this place. Right, so the next item we're going to create is this filter button that we have here. Right, but I'm going to make use of this sketch tool that I've created because they're similar. I'm going to hold on to option key and I'm going to drag it out here, but I am going to reduce the width. So I'm going to expand this frame here, and I'm going to find the rectangle, and I want to reduce the width to a 50. I'm going to change the text to filter. Let's drag this here too. So this is, let's adjust this to, okay, let's just center it and create a vertical alignment. Then I'm going to go to my plugins, go to hero icon, and I'm going to find somewhat an icon that says filter. All right, so I'm going to drag this one out from the frame that I came with. All right, I'm going to select it, Ctrl Z, because I want to remove it, and I'm going to select, make sure I hold on to my command, select this icon here, search icon, and then right click and then go to paste to replace. All right, so this colors here, I'm going to change it back to non-black, just like we have here. Okay, so I'm going to select the both of them, and then let's see, I need to drag this all out here. I'll select the both of them, create an auto layout, because I want them to snap, like be on the same line. Okay, so that is that for this one. So the next item on our list is to create this these options that we have here to do. So I am going to click on T on my keyboard, and I'm going to type to do, and I'm going to put the number of items that are left to do, color that we have, while this one is the other color, which is A0, A4, A9. Okay, I didn't get the color. So the color is A0, A4, A9. Yes, I think I got it now. Right, but I'm going to try to increase the color here. Right, but for this one, for this to do, let's try and increase it to a semi bold, and let's put this hyphen that we have here. I'm going to duplicate this because we have other tests going on. We have in progress, let's put a space in there, and we also have completed. Then we have overdue, tasks that are overdue. So let's try to change the numbers. All right, so I'm going to select all of them. Select all of them by holding on my shift key and then create an auto layout. But I'm going to give it a spacing of up to 32. With the spacing of 32, I think we're good. So the next item we're going to click here, we're going to create here, is this one. So I'm just going to copy it out here, and I'm going to click here and paste it here. All right, so you can use the same knowledge, same way we created this filter thingy, and then create same one here. All right, so I'm going to hold on to this, and create an auto layout, and I'm going to also give it a spacing of 32. All right, so the next item we're going to create is this whole thing, this busy thing going on here. So this is it. Let me give you context. All right, so the first thing first is to click on F on my keyboard, and I am going to drag a frame. So for this frame, I'm going to go back and put on my show my UI. So for this frame, I want it to be a 324, the width, and the height I chose it to be a 208. Then what I'm going to do is to add a fill to it, white. Right, so I'm going to try to hide the layout grid so I can see what we're doing. Right, so right now I'm going to give it a corner radius. Let's give it an 8. Good. So the next item we're going to create is this text, this highlight here that shows that it's of high priority. So I'm going to click on T on my keyboard and I'm going to type hi. So, but I'm going to leave it at 14. Then I'm going to click on Shift A to create an auto layout for this. Then I'm going to go to this auto layout section here. For the horizontal padding here, I'm going to reduce it to an 8, while the vertical padding, I'm going to reduce it. Let's give it a 4. All right, so let's give it a green color. I'll find green color and use, and let's give it a fill and also give it a green color. Let's also have a fill with the green color, but I'm going to detach the style and then reduce the opacity. Then I'm going to go ahead and increase the corner radius to a 4. Yes, this is what we have here. But again, what I'm going to do is to add a bit of a stroke here, because I see I added a stroke there. But I'm going to make my stroke green and I'm going to reduce it to a 0.5. But I think it's not this green. This green is shouting. Let's go with this one. Yeah, we did it. So the next thing is to type the text we have in here. Let's just go with this first one, branding. I'm going to click on T and I'm going to type branding. So, but for this branding here, I'm going to make the font to be 18. Yeah, but I'm going to change. You know, I told you for my headings, I try to use this font just right. So I'm going to change the black to the black that I've been using, which is this color. All right, so but for this I'm going to increase it to a semi-bold is okay. Then I'm going to click on T on my keyboard and drag a bit. Okay, let me copy out the text first, then come here, click T on my keyboard and I'll drag a text box here just so it fits into what I have. Then I'm going to go ahead and select this text I have here, select the branding and create an auto layout. Then the spacing between the two, I'm going to give it an 8 and it seems okay. All right, so the next thing is we have a line here. So the essence of this line is just, you know, in design we tend to group things that are related, right? So I try to use this line to just show like some form of distinction with the text, with the content here, and with the date thingy that I added here, right? So that was my thought process when I did that. So I'm going to go ahead and put a line here. This, just click, okay, so let me draw the line so you can see. Click on L on your keyboard, hold on to Shift, and then you can drag. So the color I use for here, just come to this stroke here, because line comes with the stroke, doesn't have a fill. Just select the color. So this is the color that I'm using for the line. So for the line, I just try to maintain a width of 274. All right, so I'm going to try to center it now. I clicked here just to center it. So I'll select the both of them, these two, the line and this text I have here, and I'll create an auto layout. I think the spacing of 14 seems okay. All right, maybe we can reduce it to be a 12. Right, so the other thing we have going on here is just the date, and I'm going to click on T and I'm going to type 20th December. I pray this is a good format. No, I don't think this is a good format. I did 20th December. All right, I'm going to use a 14 and I'm going to use it as, leave it as regular. So let's use a Sophia Sans, our Sophia Sans here. I'm going to leave it at regular. Regular, but I'm not using black as the color. I'm going to change it to this color that we've been using since. Then I'm going to right click on my mouse, go to plugin, go to hero icons, and I'm going to find calendar. So I'm going to impute this calendar now. I'm going to bring this calendar here. Okay, it's not even in our frame. I'll select the both of them, select this one, hold on to shift, select the next one, and create an auto layout. Okay, so they're not in the same place. This is not it. This is our frame here. You can see our frame. So I need to chuck in 20 inside it, then find the vector, this calendar icon I brought in, and put it right into the frame again so that I can walk. I'm going to remove this frame that it came with. All right, but I'm also going to change the color first, back to the color we're using. All right, so I'm going to select both of them, create an auto layout, and then give it a spacing of 4. No, let's give it a spacing of 6. But I'm going to try to reduce this calendar because it seems a bit big. So the width and the height is 18. Let's give it a 14. Perfect. All right, since we have this going on here, the last thing we want to do here is to add this whole thingy, this thing that shows the number of persons that are on this or have been assigned to these tasks here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click O on my keyboard and hold on to Shift, then create a perfect shape here. Once I create this perfect shape, what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click, go to my plugins and go to pixels, and I'm going to find images of people. Right, so I'm going to what I did was just to put them on top of each other just like this. Then the last one, what I did was to type a number here, chuck it in here, probably most likely change the color to this color that we have here, and that was most likely it. And then I think I added a corner, a stroke to all of this, a stroke. But let's see this color now, but I'm going to make it a 0.5. Perfect. So I'm going to select all of this things, all of this, and I'm going to group it. Then I'm going to do this, select this one again, and then create an auto layout. But I'm going to try to adjust it here. Select the both of them, this frame I have here, select the second one and create another auto layout. Then the spacing in between should be a 12, please. Then I'm going to take this one and add another auto layout. Then the spacing in between should be, let's say, a 16. Then I am going to go to my alignment section and align it to the middle and also align it vertically. And there you have it. So this is the workflow. I'm going to give you a task. I'm going to give you a task to carry out. So I just duplicated all of this and I selected all of this and I created an auto layout. So for my spacing, let me put on my grid line so that we can be sure of what we're doing. So the spacing here, let's give it a 32. All right, so for the spacing, I think 32 is not filling it up. Let's give it a 34. Okay, I can also increase it to a 36. Perfect. So I'm going to duplicate the selected and create an auto layout, but I'm going to give it a spacing of 24. Then I'm going to double click and select this frame here, then Ctrl C, Ctrl V, and I have my tags and I have my work done. Right, so let's close it. So what you're going to do is to complete the tags here. So I know I didn't add this icon here, this option icon, right? And I didn't this other one, this medium indicator here and low indicator. Just go ahead and create all that, populate other content here, just as I did here, where you have sandbox UX design as a project ongoing, LinkedIn optimization, logo design, CV writing, and all of that. So just go ahead and populate the text and also add this option icon here. All right, thank you so much for being here. Okay, so this is me. If you're done with your task, you can send me an email at Pamela, or you can send me a DM at Pamela Design on my Instagram or my TikTok. right? Yeah, and if you enjoyed this video, please share it with someone that is going to benefit. Like and comment, subscribe to my YouTube to encourage me to continue. Thank you very much.